Bring in Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. This is the 15th Supreme Court nominee that you'll have a chance to vote for. What are your impressions of her?
Stunningly, amazingly intelligent, a wonderful life story as well. It's hard to think of any nominee we've had in the past who was any better than this one, and we've had some great ones, like Justice Scalia, Justice Thomas. She's in the same class and is going to serve with great distinction on the court for many years to come.
What did you make of the Democrats today deciding to boycott and not even show up in the committee to have a vote?
Well, it made the meeting shorter because we know if they'd showed up, they would have been speaking for a long time.
Indeed. Well, I know that you've scheduled the vote, I believe, for Monday. I do want to ask you about this because you've been in the Senate for a while. You understand lawmaking. You care about it. And there was many exchanges during her confirmation hearing in which she kept saying that Congress needs to do a better job of writing the laws so that it doesn't always end up in the court. Take a look at this exchange with her and Senator Cruz.
Judge Barrett, in your view, is it the responsibility of a federal judge to implement policy positions that they might happen to agree with?
That's your job, not a judge's.
So I wondered what you thought about that, because there's another chance for another Congress starting in a couple of months. I mean, would that message ring true to some of your colleagues?
Well, look, I'm sure we don't do a perfect job of writing laws, and they do end up in the courts. But what Judge Barrett was pointing out, that the job of the judge is to basically try to discern what the plain meaning of the words that we wrote were. I expect sometimes we make that challenging. Her mentor, Justice Scalia, used to say, if you want to run for office, if you want to make policy, why don't you run for office? That's not what we do here in the courts. So I think she believes in judicial restraint and making your very best effort as a judge to try to read the law and apply it to the facts.
There was an issue during her confirmation with the Biden campaign refusing to answer for a while what they would do if they agreed with many on the left to do court packing, meaning adding more seats and then packing those in with liberals if he were to be elected. Joe Biden came up with his answer today. He said he would come up with one before the election, and that was to create a commission to study not just the court, but also the Constitution. And in my experience, and I wonder what you think, that commission is sometimes just another word for refusing to answer the question.
Yeah, look, I mean, Justice Ginsburg had it right. She was asked about this last year. She said 9 is the right number. She pointed out that Franklin Roosevelt tried to pack the court. It was a political disaster for him, not the right thing to do, and the perfect way to destabilize the judiciary. Court packing ought to be completely unacceptable. It was when Joe was chairman of the Judiciary Committee, to now he hedging. When he's hedging, the answer is yes, he's open to it. And the American people overwhelmingly think this is a bad idea on a bipartisan basis.
How much do you think that the Amy Coney Barrett confirmation vote, and even just her becoming a Supreme Court justice, will matter to some of these really close Senate races that you're watching very closely?
Well, she's certainly a great asset. She was picked by a Republican president who's on the ballot. She's going to be confirmed by a Republican Senate whose majority is also on the ballot. We're proud of this nomination. If it proves to be a political asset for us, that's great. We know it's going to be an important asset for our country.
Does it matter to you at all that the Democrats are accusing you of hypocrisy for holding this vote in an election year?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Look, the answer to that is if the shoe was on the other foot, they'd be doing exactly the same thing.
Is there anything that Donald Trump could do tonight to help Senate Republicans be able to try to make these races in these battleground states even closer, or at least try to help them pull ahead?
Well, I think a good debate performance by the president would be helpful to him and helpful to us. And we're all pulling for him to have a good performance tonight. We'll all be watching and hoping for the best.
What about the COVID relief bill? I know that Speaker Pelosi has suggested that you are the problem and that you are the one standing in the way of getting this bill so that we could get relief to the American people. How do you respond to that?
Well, look, what I put on the floor this week was the bill we all agree on. She just wants to spend way more. Actually, the bill I put on the floor is $500 billion, $500 billion. She called that a skinny bill. She's been promoting a massive expenditure, much of it unrelated to the problem. For example, tax cuts for rich people in New York and California, free health care for illegal immigrants. And from a Kentucky point of view, there's more money in there for Puerto Rico than for Kentucky. That's not a serious effort to legislate. What I wanted to do was to focus on the problem, get as much relief to the American people as we could, as fast as we could.
Do you expect a bill before Election Day?
If the President and the Speaker actually finally reach an agreement and it passes the House with his support, obviously we'll take it up. As to the timing, I suppose that's going to be determined by the Speaker and the President and whether or not they can reach an agreement.
All right, Senator McConnell, pleasure to have you. Thank you.